ياسين والقرآن الحكيم إنك لمن المرسلين على صراط مستقيم تنزيل العزيز الرحيم لتنذر قوما ما أنذر آباؤهم فهم غافلون صدق الله العظيم. Respected brothers and my dear young friends, last week we started with the opening verses of Surah Yasin, and we mentioned why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started with taking an oath on the Quran to prove its authenticity and to refute the claims of the mushriks that they were leveling against Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, out of one which was that innaka lasta mursala, that you are not from amongst the prophets. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then, to refute their claims, He takes qasam on the Quran. He says, Wal Quran al Hakim, by the oath of the Quran, which is filled with wisdom, the wise Quran. When a person looks deep into this, then a question that arises is that the mushriks of Makkah, who were against Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the pagans, the disbelievers, who totally disregarded the Quran. They did not accept the Quran to be a divine revelation. In fact, they said that Muhammad has made this up, or he has learned it from somebody. So the question that comes is that the same Quran which they were disputing about and which they were not ready to accept as the word of Allah, why is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taking a qasam on that? Because they will not accept it. Why is Allah saying by the qasam of the Quran? Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is going to read this to them. That by the qasam of the Quran, innaka lamiyal mursaleen, that indeed you are from the prophets, from the Rasuls. But it is the same Quran that they are disputing about. So why is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taking qasam on the Quran? Should it not be something else that He should be taking qasam on? So when you look deep in, our akabis and our ulamas and the mufassirin have done such detailed work. There's a mufassir by the name of Allama Fakhruddin Razi rahmatullah alayhi, who has compiled the tafsir in probably 24 to 25 volumes. He mentions in this that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took a qasam on the Quran for two reasons. Number one, because the Quran was a clear and open miracle for all the Arabs. All the people that were in Arabia at the time, this was an open challenge for them. And if they disputed and challenged the authenticity of the Quran, then on many occasions Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called them forward. And He told them that bring a verse like the Quran. If Muhammad has fabricated this Quran, then you also bring a verse. You bring the Quran like similar to what Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is bringing. If not, bring fa'tu bi ashri suwarin mithli. Bring 10 surahs. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, fa'tu bi suratin mithli. If you can't bring 10, at least bring one. Were they able to bring even one ayat? Never mind one surah, nothing. They could not bring anything. So that shows that they failed in their challenge. And when you fail in a challenge, then the next thing is that you accept and submit to the person, the opponent. You accept that, yeah, what you're saying is right, that we tried, we got together, we gathered, we tried to make one surah, never mind a surah, we couldn't make an ayat. This proves that this Quran is absolutely correct. It is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is truth. So when the truthfulness of this Quran is established, then it is logic that it is true. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can take oath on this. But Allama Fakhruddin Razi rahmatullahi then goes on to give another reason, which also is very important. Allama Razi rahmatullahi says that the second reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took qasam on the Quran, although this qasam was to be relayed in front of the mushriks, and they were totally against the Quran. So why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take qasam on the Quran? He says because any intelligent person, when you want to prove a point to him, and you have to go down the avenue of taking a qasam, you have to take an oath, you have to take a qasam, then that person will only believe you. The person you are trying to give a message to, he will only believe you if you take a qasam. He will only rely on your words, or he will only have confidence in what you are saying if you take a qasam on something which you yourself have honor and esteem, high esteem for. And then he goes on to say that if a disbeliever was to take qasam on the Kaaba, Imagine a disbeliever comes and you have an argument and he, for example, scratches your car or he bangs into your car and then he says, I swear by the Kaaba. Would you believe him? You will never believe him. Because we know deep down in our hearts that he has no reverence, he has no high esteem for the Kaaba. Or if he says, I take an oath by Allah. They say, Allah. So if you were to say that, would us you believers ever take the word of that disbeliever? But he's taking a qasam. Why won't we take his word? Because he's taking a qasam on something we know that he has no esteem or reverence for in his heart. So any intelligent person will only take the oath of another person when the person is taking an oath on something he himself believes in, something he himself has high esteem for. And the greatest esteem that the Sahaba and Rasulullah had was for the Quran. One of the greatest things that they esteem for high esteem and respect was for the Quran. So logically Rasulullah Allah had to take qasam on the Quran. Because Allah Marazi says that if a believer Muslim, he can't do it. But if he was to say, I take qasam by Lat and Uzza, or I take qasam on the cross, would any Christian believers? They will never believe us because they know that they don't believe the cross. In fact, they will think that we are mocking them and we are doing mockery. So that's why Allah Marazi says Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took qasam on the Quran, because logically we think they don't believe in the Quran. Why is Allah taking qasam on the Quran for? Allah took qasam on the Quran because any intelligent person, for him to rely on you and have confidence in you, you have to take qasam on something that you believe in. That's why sometimes people say they take qasam on their mother, Meri maa ki qasam, although it's not permissible. For a believer, it is only permissible for him to take qasam on Allah or anything connected to Allah. Rabbul Kaaba, I take qasam by the Rabb of the Kaaba. I take qasam by Rabbi Muhammad, Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's Rabb. It's permissible because that all refers to Allah. But you can't take qasam on your parents or my children. But why would somebody take qasam on their parents? Because he has respect and honor. But if someone says, I take qasam on your mom, will the person believe it? He'll say, you're taking the mic. You're taking mockery. So Allah Marazi Rahmatullahi mentions that this is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took qasam on the Quran. And the third reason is, Allah Marazi Rahmatullahi says that in their days, in the Zaman Jahiliyyat, people would be very scared and they would prevent themselves from taking false qasams. And they had this feeling and this perception that if anybody takes a false qasam, duty qasam, then what will happen? Destruction will come his way. But time and time again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is taking qasam, wal fajri, wal asri, wal shamsi, wal Quran al Hakim. And who's relating these qasams? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is relating these qasams to the mushriks. Allah saying this qasam by the qasam of the Quran. But according to their perception, if a person is taking a false qasam, then what should happen? Destruction should come. Now towards Rasulullah. But did any destruction come? No. In fact, his work of dawah was increasing. The followers were increasing. Islam was flourishing. So they were seeing all this. So when they were seeing this, what does this mean? That the qasam that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is taking is not fabricated, it's not false. Why is it? It is absolutely real. Because according to your rule, if it was a false qasam, then destruction would have come Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So anyway, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes qasam in the Quran and He says, Ala sirati mustaqim, that you are on the straight path. You are definitely on the straight path. That if these people think you are not on the straight path, you are definitely on the straight path. And whoever follows you are also on the straight path. Allama ibn al-Qayyim rahmatullahi says that what is the straight path? He says, وَالْقَوْلُ الْجَامِ فِي تَفْسِيرِ الصِّرَاطِ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ هُوَ الطَّرِيقُ الَّذِي نَصَبَهُ اللَّهُ لِعِبَادِهِ عَلَىٰ أَلْسِنَةِ رَسُولِهِ صلى الله عليه وسلم. That the comprehensive meaning in the interpretation of Sirat al-Mustaqim. In Surah Fatiha, daily we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim, Sirat al-Mustaqim, Sirat al-Mustaqim. Why is Sirat al-Mustaqim? He says Sirat al-Mustaqim is the straight path. The path that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has set, He has fixed for His servants on the tongue of His Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That this is the way, this is Hada Sirati, this is my path. That is Sirat al-Mustaqim. Which path? That will make a person reach Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And besides that, there is no other path. And what's this path? The path which shows exclusive ibadat, worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and obedience to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's why Rasulullah in one hadith is narrated that Rasulullah said that ضَرَبَ اللَّهُ مَثَلًا صِرَاطًا مُسْتَقِيمًا, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given a parable, an example of Sirat al-Mustaqim. وَأَنْ جَنْبَتَيْ صِرَاطِ السُّورَانِ, that on this edge of this path are two walls, and in each of these walls there are doors that are open, and on them doors there are curtains hanging. وَإِنْ رَأْسِ الصِّرَاطِ دَاعٍ يَقُولُ اسْتَقِيمُ وَلَا صِرَاطٍ, and at the head of the path, at the top of the path, there is a person calling that istaqim wala sirat. stay firm, stay steadfast on the path. وَلَا تَعَوَّجُوا, and don't go here and there. Don't turn away from the path. Don't go on the wrong path. وَفَوْقَ ذَلِكَ دَاعٍ يَقُولُ كُلَّمَا هَمَّ عَبْدٍ أَن يَفْتَحُ شَيْءٍ مِنْ تِلْكَ الْأَبْوَابِ وَيْلَكَ. And that on the other side of the path is a person who is calling whenever a person has an urge to go towards these doors, towards these curtains. Whenever he has the urge to enter one of these curtains, then that person is saying, Bay, ruk jao, make sure you don't go there. Then Rasulullah in tafsir, ثم فسر Rasulullah in tafsir, he said, أن الصراط هو الإسلام, that this sirat, what sirat? This path that Rasulullah SWT gave example of, this is Islam. And these doors that are open, maharimullah, these are the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made haram. Alcohol, gambling, zina, all these things these are doors that are open. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, these are open, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put a curtain. As a believer, you can't go there. As a Muslim walking in the path of Islam, you can't enter them, you can't go through them doors. So this is a veil for you. And he said that the person or the caller who is at the beginning of the path, who is saying to you that istaqim wala sirat, raste ki upar seedhe raho, stay firm on this path. What is it? Hada al-Quran, this is the Quran. The Quran is telling you, is giving you guidance, is giving you ahkam, how to walk, stay on the straight path. And the da'i, the thing that is telling you that do not go near whenever you get an urge, whenever you get a desire, ye kaam kar lu, then all of a sudden you get this thought, don't do it, stop. Whenever you get this feeling inside you, there's temptation. All these things are tempting a believer. And at that time you get this feeling. What's that feeling? This is the qalb of a believer. Inside his heart, he has thoughts coming in. And it's a farishta by the name of Mulhim Ghaliban that puts ilham in his heart. Don't do this. And as long as he keeps listening to his farishta, then his idrak, his feeling and understanding of this voice that comes into his heart will get stronger and stronger. So when a person understands this, that Sirat-e Mustaqim is a path, this is Islam. As long as you stay mustaqim on this, as long as you stay firm on this, inshallah you will be on the straight path. And whilst you walk in this path, there will definitely be temptations, there will be desires. At that time, what do you have to do? At that time, you have to stop and you have to protect yourself from going into this. So Ibn al-Qayyim rahmatullah mentions that the meaning of Sirat-e Mustaqim is that straight path which leads to Allah, that was explained by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah subhanahu then goes on to say, Tanzilul Azizir Rahim, that this Quran, a revelation of the mighty, the most merciful. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking that why is this kitab? This is a revelation. Because at this moment in time, the people, the first audience of Rasulullah or the people of Makkah, the mushriks of Makkah, and for a time has passed since the Nabi Ismail came decades ago. And time has passed and they do not know about a Nabi, they don't know what a Nabi is. In fact, they've even forgotten, they don't even know that revelation come. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, what's this kitab? Tanzilul Aziz Rahim. This is revelation, divine revelation from who? From Al-Aziz and Al-Rahim. Which being, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions two of his sifats. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has many sifats. The ones that we know, the 99s, there's Al-Wahid, Al-Qahhar, Al-Jabbar, Al-Rahim, Al-Malik, Al-Quddus. Out of all of them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings two sifats. Al-Aziz and Al-Rahim. Again, in there, Allama Fakhruddin Razi rahmatullahi mentions that by bringing these two names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala indicating to us? He's saying that this kitab is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Tanzil. It has been revealed from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he has mentioned that he's brought these two sifats of his, Al-Aziz, the mighty, and Rahim. Why? Because whenever revelations come to a Nabi, then two things out of one. One of two possibilities occur. One of two things occur. Either the people, they will oppose the Nabi, they will disrespect him and they will disregard him, and they will hurl abuse at him. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in this case, He will take revenge, He will punish them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling them that dekho, this Quran that is being nazil, that is coming down, is from Al-Aziz, who is very mighty. And if you don't obey the Nabi and if you don't respect him, then revenge is coming your way. I will punish you. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring this sifat of Aziz. And on the other side, He brings the sifat of Rahim. That the other possibility is that when the Nabi comes with the message, then the people in the nation, in the community, they will accept it. And they will respect him. They will have honor for him. They will obey him. And if that is the case, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will shower His mercy upon him. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is indicating that this kitab has been revealed from a very, very mighty being. And if you disobey him, and if you disregard the revelations, then punishment is coming your way. And if you obey and follow the commands, then this kitab will become a means of mercy towards you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then goes on to say, لِتُنذِرَ قَوْمًا مَا أُنذِرَ آبَاؤُهُمْ فَهُمْ غَافِلُونَ. That why is this Quran, why is it being revealed? لِتُنذِرَ قَوْمًا. It was revealed to warn a nation. لِتُنذِرَ قَوْمًا. It was revealed to warn a nation. Which nation? Initially the Arabs, because they were the first audience of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. مَا أُنذِرَ آبَاؤُهُم, whose forefathers were not warned. Their forefathers were not warned. فَهُمْ غَافِلُونَ. And they are in negligence, that's why they have disregarded the duties of Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then mentions the reason why He is revealing this kitab and why He is sending a Nabi. That we are revealing this kitab to a nation whose forefathers were not warned. Meaning, this nation that we have sent you towards, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is such a nation that the Nabi has not come to them for years. In fact, not to their fathers, not to their even forefathers. Years and decades have passed. In fact, generations upon generations have passed since a Nabi has come to them. Hence why they have not seen anything like prophethood. They have never seen anything like a Nabi. And that's why they don't have any understanding of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talking to a Nabi. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bringing revelations to a Nabi. And hence they are ignorant. And this is why, out of their ignorance, this is why they are treating me like this. So in this ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is bringing a few messages. Number one, why the Quran is being revealed. And number two, the message to Rasulullah that they are acting like this and they are behaving with you in this manner because they have never seen a Nabi. Because the last Nabi to come in their nation was Ismail alayhi salam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ibrahim alayhi salam had two sons, Ishaq alayhi salam and Ismail alayhi salam. Ismail alayhi salam helped Ibrahim alayhi salam build the Kaaba. And after Ismail alayhi salam, no Nabis came. So on this side of the tree, Ibrahim alayhi salam, two sons. On this side, no Nabis. On this side, Ishaq alayhi salam. Ishaq alayhi salam's son was Yaqub alayhi salam. His son was Yusuf alayhi salam. And Yaqub alayhi salam had 11 children. And all these became Bani Israel. Because another name for Yaqub alayhi salam was Israel. So Banu Israel meaning the son of Israel alayhi salam. So they had 11 brothers. And from there, thousands of Nabis came. So many. Yeah, all the ones that we know. So many that we know. And so many more that we don't even know. Ayyub alayhi salam, Musa alayhi salam, Yaqub alayhi salam, Yusuf alayhi salam, Isa alayhi salam. All these were Anbiya alayhi salam from this left hand side, from Ishaq alayhi salam. So on this side, the Yahud, in their progeny, Nabi upon Nabi, Nabi upon Nabi. On this side, on Ismail salam, there was no Nabis. So the Arabs, their land became dried. There was no Nabi. So they had not seen Nabis for years. They had not seen Nabis for decades. Hence why they are acting like this. And hence why they are misbehaving like this. But surely when you propagate deen, a time will come that it will irrigate their hearts. And they will accept the word and they will accept the kalima. So anyway, in this ayat, there is comfort for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And there is also a message and there is a reason why the Arabs were not prepared to listen to Rasulullah initially. And then the time came where so many people flocked to Islam and they entered into Islam in the thousands. So we'll leave it at that. I will carry on next week. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the correct understanding. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.